Ni umetoka imenipatia but unajua ukirudi tupige. Okay. So I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, kindly just let me know. I think I'll just go ahead and just share the news as Louise is sorting out the issues with the internet. We are live on Facebook. Welcome to Bitcoin 101. And like I was saying, there's a lot that has happened this week. So can you all hear me? I hope I'm audible enough. Okay, great. Karos is very clear. So we can just go ahead. Allow me just to share my screen. And then as Louise is sorting out the small hitches he's having, just to share with you what has been happening across the globe in terms of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and also the news. So allow me to share my screen in a few. So here we are. So I'll start by, of course, sharing with you the price of Bitcoin, which is at 32,910, which is live. And of course, Bitcoin has seen a very healthy growth since 2009, January 3rd. And of course, a lot of people, when they see Bitcoin at this particular point, most of us are like, we cannot afford it, or it's already past our own capabilities of owning one full Bitcoin. But trusting me with good guidance, it's very easy for you to own one full Bitcoin. So that's the price of Bitcoin. Current value is 32,920. And I'll go straight to my first news. And of course, we're talking about Bitcoin nodes count hits a new all-time high. Bitcoin nodes count hits or a new all-time high amidst the increase of distrust of custodian solution and recent upgrades of Bitcoin Core. More Bitcoiners are starting to run their own nodes. What are nodes? Let me just explain a little bit of what this means. The number of Bitcoin nodes, have hit an all-time high. The number of Bitcoin nodes have hit an all-time high with 11,558 reachable nodes currently active. According to bitcoinnodes.io, another Bitcoin network statistics tracker, CoinDance, calculates the total number of Bitcoin nodes at 11,613, which is just above the previous high of 11,250 set 1 year ago this month. So Bitcoin Core software update 0.20.0 was released for public download on January 14th, 2021. And this is currently the fourth most utilized version of software among the nodes. So it's good to know that Bitcoin nodes is what runs the network. And I think a whole lot of people who are Bitcoiners, people who really believe in Bitcoin and stuff, now have capabilities of running these nodes in their own, running the software in their own computers. I follow some people who do that. I think if you check how nodes are distributed, Africa, I think Kenya, we have like 2-3 people who run nodes. In Africa, not a lot of people do this. So it tells you more people are now coming to trust the network, and more so they want to do the work themselves. So these are the people who help the network run. They are like the custodians of, there are people who make Bitcoin blockchain really get to where it is. So I think one of these Mondays we'll be talking more on coding and stuff so that we can really understand more about Bitcoin nodes and the network in general. So this is amazing. Of course, we see as more people are coming on board to run the nodes, it makes also the network more secure and more safe. So from there, we celebrate President Joe Biden, who was just sworn in the other day. And of course, he came on board also looking at crypto. And the first thing he did was to froze some regulations that were proposed by FinCEN rules on the crypto wallets. And I was reading these and I was like, this is good for cryptocurrency, because most of these regulations were not to really help the crypto market grow. It was like to just pin it down for a while as these bodies are trying to understand the whole crypto market. So one of the first actions President Joe Biden has taken on his first day in office is to freeze federal regulatory process, including the controversial self-hosted crypto wallet regulations proposed by former Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin. I think this is one of the former Treasury was one of the people who never liked cryptocurrency. So most of the rules they were coming up with, they were not rules to support cryptocurrency growth. It's just to suppress it. So of course you can see President-elect Joe Biden, he's more so now looking at how can we help crypto grow, with good regulations and curb the bad things that are in the crypto space. So of course, this is one of the news I saw this weekend. I was like, this is good for crypto, because now we have somebody who wants to look at crypto from a different angle, not to fight it, but to see how it can be integrated and work with good regulations that will help the growth really explode. So this is one of the things I saw this weekend. I was like, this is interesting. Another news I saw is that Joe Biden also elected Yellen, this madam called Yellen, and U.S. government should consider benefits of cryptocurrency and digital assets. And this is the new Treasury Secretary nominee, Janet Yellen, who was previously headed up the U.S. Federal Reserve. She used to head over there. She said, written testimony on Thursday, that cryptocurrencies and digital assets have potential to improve the efficiency of financial system. This is good news for the crypto space, because I think since Bitcoin started, all these bodies like the Fed, all banks have been fighting cryptocurrencies. So when we get now people who are being taking positions in all big offices and they are pro-crypto, you can imagine now growth of cryptocurrency, especially this year, will go higher and higher, because of course more people will believe in what really is out there. So I think this is another article that I saw, and I was like, this is amazing. And I like how she really put it. She said, I think it's important we consider the benefits of cryptocurrency and other digital assets and the potential they have to improve the efficiency of financial systems. At the same time, we know they can be used to finance terrorism, facilitate money laundering, and support malign activities that threaten U.S. national security interests and integrity of the U.S. and international financial systems. Okay, of course, some of the things she stated in her statement, I think is something which Bitcoin has been accused and cryptocurrencies have been accused of for so long. But there's some data that was shared, I think, early 2019, showing that Bitcoin, in fact, is not used a lot to do illegal stuff if you compare it to dollar. But of course, okay, dollar is more, has a broader market share than Bitcoin. So of course, her point is, let's align Bitcoin, because it can help us improve the efficiency of the financial system. But how do we do this as we also curb the chances of people using it for other illegal activities? So I think her point is really, really deep, and I really do like the fact that they are willing to look at Bitcoin from another angle. So I think we need to look closely on how to encourage the use of legitimate activities while curtailing the use for malign and legal activities. So I think this is a very good approach they are looking at cryptocurrencies with, because of course, even the dollar, if they cannot also align the way fiat currencies is used, people can use fiat currencies also to do illegal activities, like it's always been. So I think these are very positive thing also we'll see in the crypto space. The other news I saw is it's good also to note that number of Bitcoin whales explode to an all-time high. Bitcoin whales, a whale is somebody who is considered to have over 1,000 Bitcoins in their wallet. Maybe we can check 1,000 Bitcoins, how much that is in if you use the current value. So if you have 1,000 Bitcoins in your wallet, current value, you have like $32 million. That's like 3 billion Kenya shillings, around 3 billion Kenya shillings. So somebody who has over 1,000 Bitcoins in one single wallet, these are the people who are considered to be whales. And currently, the wallets are sitting at 2,440. This tells you a lot of people currently are moving fiat currency to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. The belief of Bitcoin being a hedge is still growing, because you can imagine people are still putting money at the current price of 32,000. So it's good to really get to understand that people who never believe in Bitcoin are now currently believing in Bitcoin. And of course, the number of the whales are increasing each and every other day. So to other news, Nebraska senator introduces bills to allow state banks. Let's look at that. To allow state banks to custody crypto. As we all know, banks have always been fighting cryptocurrency. Why? Because there's something I read somewhere, and I think it's in one of the news, where somebody said Bitcoin will do to banks what emails did to post office. And I think this is a fear that banks and other financial institutions have, because of course, when you're using cryptocurrency, you don't need a third party. So of course, he said, we need to be a leader in fintech, said the senator, Mike Flood. So basically you can see, instead of you fighting technology, I usually say, educate yourself so that you can really benefit from it. And I think a lot of African countries, we're gonna lag behind, because I don't think a lot of African leaders are open to really look at blockchain and digital assets from an angle of how can it benefit our societies. They are looking at it from how much can we lose in terms of if people really get to understand what cryptocurrencies are. They're looking at it from the angle which international firms were looking at Bitcoin in between 2009 and 2010. It can be used for money laundering. This is a scam, it's a bubble. And it's so unfortunate, 12 years down the line, we still have people who believe that Bitcoin is still a bubble. It's so unfortunate. So anyway, and talking about banks, of course, I saw this news and I was like, of course, I think some of us have experienced this. On a personal note, I have, where like you try to do some crypto transactions using your account, and maybe it's frozen or maybe it's locked. So of course you can read here, access denied. Banks seem prone to cryptophobia despite growing adoption. And this is where I usually say, why don't people be open to learn where the world is heading? Instead of you fighting it, you see the opportunity that is there, and as an institution, as a country, you know, as firms, you look at how can we come up with products that can help our customers benefit from where the world is heading. So you can read here, banks in many countries continue either outrightly to deny or limit their services to crypto exchanges, and this is very open today. Do a transaction like here in Kenya and write the word Bitcoin. You'll get to see what will happen. So if you're dealing with any cryptocurrency, I usually tell people, banks don't allow you to do this, and there are memos that go around, people saying, you know, we don't support cryptocurrencies. And it's this is some of the things I usually say. Instead of fighting, why don't they really learn and see how we can integrate, or they can marry fiat and crypto in between without this fear of, cryptocurrencies. But anyway, away from the cryptophobia from banks, you can see other banks are way much ahead. And the Bank of France settles $2.4 million fund in central bank digital currency pilot. We've been talking about central bank digital currencies. And I think I talked about there are some banks in Europe region that were testing digital euro. And I think Bank of France was one of them. So you can see already the Bank of France processed $2.4 million worth of fund using their CBDC. CBDC is central bank digital currency. And this happened in December as part of ongoing experiments into blockchain and stablecoin technology. So you can see such central banks, they are not really blocking the use of cryptocurrencies. They are looking at how can we integrate central bank digital currencies, and also we give a space for cryptocurrency because they are not competing with central bank digital currencies. How can we also allow other altcoins to really help us grow together as the world is heading to the shift of digitization. So it's good to know that China launched their digital currency. Digital yuan is already out being practiced. You can see Bank of France already also, they piloted a test with $2 million, $2.4 million test. So these are the news that make me feel that the world is heading in the right direction. So on other news, I think today I have a whole lot of news about banks. And we cross over to this bank. It's called Signature. Signature Bank crosses 10 billion in deposits from crypto customers. I think people are fearing what is happening to fiat currency. I spoke in one of our Bitcoin 101, and I was telling people over 20% of all circulating USD dollar was printed in 1 year. And this was last year. So of course, we know what happens when you print a lot of money. Inflation hits whatever money that you printed. We've seen countries like Venezuela, countries like Zimbabwe. What happened to them? A lot of people, they print a lot of money to a point where the money loses its value. And I guess this is the key point why Bitcoin gains a whole lot of people, because it's finite. It's only 21 million Bitcoins. A lot of these cryptocurrencies have limited supply. But if you have something that doesn't have a fixed supply, what will happen is that the value depreciates. Anytime you add more to what is in circulation, the value will always depreciate. So of course you can see Signature Bank crosses 10 billion in deposits from crypto customers. But again, as we also note this, it's good to, I say this outrightly. There's one saying in cryptocurrency space: not your private keys, not your Bitcoins. So it means it's very risky for you to give your cryptocurrencies to somebody for custodian. It's a rule in cryptocurrency. If you don't have the private keys, those are not your Bitcoins. So of course, banks want to transform what that rule to, we can also be the custodians of your cryptocurrency. But outrightly, I'll say not your private key, not your Bitcoins. But again, I think it will be quite a huge shift of paradigm from what we are used to, because we know money is safer when it's kept by a third party. This is what we've grown knowing. My money is safer when it's in the bank. So of course, Bitcoin preaches or cryptocurrencies teaches something different. You can become your own custodian. Okay, for you to become your own custodian, number one, it comes with a lot of personal discipline and also taking responsibility, because you're gonna learn skills to do with security, all these things. But it gives you the freedom to know that your money is safer with you than with a third party. Your money is safer with you than with a third party. So of course, you can see these are customers that are, of course, putting money in the deposits. Allow me to get some people on board. I think they are on. So let me go back to share screen. So to other news, as I'm almost coming to an end so that Louis can take us through the other session. MicroStrategy buys the dip. Of course, like I say, there are people in the crypto space who have studied the markets, and they know anytime there's a correction, it's not time to panic. It's time to load your bags with more cryptocurrency. So of course, you can see MicroStrategy buys the dip and adds $10 million worth of Bitcoin in their treasury. And of course, they bought Michael Saylor bought the coins on at the average price of that 1,808. So you can see how these amazing people work. When everybody is looking at the Bitcoin price when it's coming down and they are panicking, somebody is waiting for that dip so that they can buy more. That's the difference. When people are running away, I think it's Warren Buffett who the one of the wealthiest gentlemen we have in the whole world, and a great investor. Warren Buffett says, "Be greedy when everybody is fearful, and be fearful when everybody is greedy." And I think this is how these hedge funds work. So of course they keep on accumulating Bitcoins, and it's amazing. So you can see they added over $10 million worth of Bitcoin in one day. Let's see. I also saw Grayscale, and Grayscale, I think in terms of Bitcoin holding as a hedge fund, they are leading in the whole world. They crossed 500,000 Bitcoins, I think, in December. And you can see Grayscale acquires $1.2 billion worth of Bitcoins in a single week. They are buying the dip. As people are panicking, Bitcoin has moved from 41,000 to 31. Them, they are smiling, let it come down so that we can accumulate more. So, and this is how markets work. So of course you can see Grayscale, of course they are also adding into their crypto custody. And this is amazing to see how these institutional investors are coming on board and putting quite good amount of money. It's also good to note, this is a Skybridge COO. Big investors could push Bitcoin above $500,000. These are analysts who were against Bitcoin, and right now they are preaching some good news about it. So they're saying if all these institutional investors keep on pumping money, we might see Bitcoin at $500,000. Let me see whether he said by when. I think he never talked about by when, but he said if it continues like this, if institutional investment into Bitcoin could push cryptocurrencies price even up to $500,000 for one. So I usually tell people, don't think when you see Bitcoin at 30,000, it's reached its peak. No, because it will take Bitcoin. I think gold has, I think it's at $9 trillion in terms of market cap. So you can imagine if Bitcoin even goes to like maybe $2 or $3, $4 trillion, what could be the price by then? Those are some of the calculations we usually like just sit down and try to check the metrics. And I'm like, one day it will reach there. Maybe not soon, but one day it will reach that $500,000 Skybridge COO is talking about. On other news, I think I saw this also. World largest asset manager, BlackRock, to invest in Bitcoin futures. Okay, it's good to note that BlackRock is also an institutional investment company, and it's the world's largest asset management company in the whole world, with over 7.81 trillion under its management portfolio. It's good to know that. And they are putting part of these into what? Into Bitcoin. So money will keep on flowing into the industry, into Bitcoin. And of course, this shows you that institutional investors now believe more in cryptocurrencies. They believe more in cryptocurrencies 11 years down the line. So to my other news, of course, Russia had banned Binance, and again this week they are open. They have opened the website again. So Binance is back in Russia. These are some of the regulations. I'm saying some countries are really suppressing the growth of cryptocurrency. And I think in the next maybe 5 years or so, we might see this turning around, where like now countries will be pro crypto once they really get to understand what it is. In the meantime, it's just for the people to really understand. Crypto is not coming to fight anything. It's just coming to help us really do things better, just like the way internet came and did. It's also good to note that there are companies that are allowing people to get paid in Bitcoin. These secure holdings is letting its employees get paid in Bitcoin. You can, as an employee, it's a software company, and you can now choose to be paid either in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Bitcoin. And that is amazing. I wish some of these companies also in Africa could allow people to just choose, do I want to get paid in dollars, Kenya shillings, or in Bitcoin, or cryptocurrency? That's some good news I saw. And then to my almost last news, eToro survey finds pensions and endowments are finally waking up to crypto. I think we've always been told, save for the future, pension funds, put some money aside. When you get old, you can have something coming to you on your way. And you can see this eToro survey shows that they quizzed over 25 institutional players about crypto investing, including a couple of pension funds, and all of them are pro now. They're pro cryptocurrency. So you can see where the money will be heading. People are getting to understand that Bitcoin is here and it's here to stay. Cryptos are. Again, a lot of people ask me, do blockchain has a browser that I can use? And I can tell you for a fact, I use Brave browser. Brave browser helps you to block ads. I'm sure some of you have tried to watch maybe a documentary on YouTube and stuff, and each and every other time you have to click on those ads to really get rid of them. So Brave browser is a browser I've been using for the last 2 years. It's a blockchain browser. You can download it. It just works like any other browser. So of course, Brave becomes first browser to offer native IPFS integration. So of course, IPFS integration gives Brave users easy access to protocol while improving the overall resilience of the internet. So it's something maybe you can look up to. It will make your browsing and usage of internet easier. And to my last news for the week, a UK health service to use blockchain to monitor COVID-19 vaccine storage. So like we say, blockchain came to revolutionize how we see technology. It's the fourth industrial revolution. So basically, cryptocurrency was the first use case. But there are so many other use cases of blockchain that you see as this decade continues. So one of it is data storage and also monitoring of data and stuff. So you can see this UK service, health service, they are using it to monitor COVID-19 vaccine storage and stuff. So this is another use case of blockchain technology. So I want to give the hosting rights back to Luis so that he can take us through today's session. I hope you've at least gotten 2-3 things from what I've shared, and also you're getting to see that right now is not the time to fear Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies anymore. It's a time to really understand that the world is moving and moving faster than we expected. So Luis, take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for that very nice and comprehensive cover-up of the week. I hope you've gotten a summary. Actually, that puts you in a very privileged position because you actually know what is happening real time as of today, and that as it is, it's actually marries well with the fact that we are educating people and also trying to show you that this is not something that is here for the midterm. It's here for it is disrupting a whole ecosystem, from governments to money to technology to everything. So in that, I was going to do the lesson today in the first session, but I got a bit of challenge on my side, but now I'm good to go. So I'm going right ahead and share my screen just to do a rundown of the differences about stock markets and also Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, because those are the key things that maybe people are trying to understand. From what Lawrence have shared, you've seen most companies are sort of now thinking about investing on other vehicles, and cryptocurrencies is now the vehicle they're going going for. And just going straight to it, as you can see on my screen, the title is very clear: should you invest in stocks or Bitcoin? You just, which is right for you. So in life, everything is never black or white. It's often shades of gray, and you have to pick one to succeed. But before you do anything, most importantly, it all depends on your goals and your risk tolerance. So once you know what is it you want to gain from this all investment and financial system, you should also weigh your risk. Then with that, you should now know which way to go. But as an investor, you must look for the right asymmetry between risk and reward, because that is a key thing. You don't want to put in a little and then you lose the little, or you want to put in too much and you get a little. So you have to balance between the two. So I'm going to refer to somebody called Howard Musk, who is a successful US investor with a reputation for being the largest investor in distressed securities worldwide. So securities are basically kind of like stocks, bonds, treasury bills and stuff. And here, it says basically about investment is you should look what you should look for in order to make profits. So by quoting him, he says the goal in investing is asymmetry, to expose yourself in a way that it doesn't expose you commensurately to risk, and to participate in gains when the market rises to a greater extent than you participate in losses when it falls. So a lot of English right there, but in simple it says you don't expose yourself too much to an investment, and don't limit yourself too much in an investment. In that, when there's an upside, you don't want to lose it, and when there's a downside, you don't want to lose more of it. So if you look at reading this Howard Marks principle, you could make the mistake of looking only for investment with virtually no risk or of capital loss. Yeah, I think that is one point that maybe I can talk about a little bit. Most people want to make so much money without thinking about losing. So any investment, just know that you are open for losing. At the same time, you will be open for gaining. If you ask many of these investors or many billionaires, if you ask them how much they've lost, it's a lot. But at the same time, they have gotten a lot of rewards. But just know mentally that for you to gain, you must know that there's a possibility of losing at the same time. So that should actually makes you. That's how you basically try and weigh out between the two options. Thus, as an investor must look for asymmetry in the sense of reward, keeping in mind that losses is always possible. It must be acceptable, and the risk of loss must be minimized. So that is the cause. You should focus on minimizing the loss of what you're investing into. So risk exists with Bitcoin and stocks too, but all can be controlled, because in controlling is how now you minimize. So a lot of misinformation has been spread in this area in the recent years, but by Bitcoin's opponents, that is now governments, all the people who want to maintain the status quo. And mostly governments, central banks, and economists are indeed looking down on Bitcoin because it has the potential to separate money from the states. That is, I think that's the biggest disruption that is happening. So the power at the head of the current monetary financial system are therefore afraid of losing their power to monetary creation, which is actually what Bitcoin is and cryptocurrencies is coming up with. So the power is being abused by central banks, as shown by the limited quantitative easing program conducted by the Fed since March 2020. I think Lawrence talked about how the US government is continuously printing more money and inflating the value of it as well. And in terms of figures, numbers, in total, the Fed and other central banks have printed more than 10 trillion out of thin air, just pieces of paper. These actions only devalue what majority of the Earth's inhabitants own. So the more currencies or money that you maybe save in your bank, or rather save it in whatever form, it will lose value through time. That's why most people are looking up to better investments. You saw earlier on the news that Lawrence shared the survey that was done by eToro. Most of these pension funds, they look at the future. So they want to invest in something that will cover them in the future. And that's why they are thinking about now getting into Bitcoin, because what they have is in fiat. fiat currencies. That's how they lose. So when it comes to the risk posed by Bitcoin, you should not blindly listen to people who run the current system. So don't go to I say if you have a toothache, don't go to somebody who treats the eye. Get to know what is it actually that this technology offers, and that's why Decrypt is here. Lawrence and myself, we are here to educate you. So Bitcoin currently addresses a major issue: the preservation of wealth over time in a way that is resistant to censorship. In that there is no control. It's basically putting everything that you know and that you understand in maths. That is what it says. And most importantly, the goal should be to educate yourself and be able to make your own decisions based on the information that you have. So let's look at stocks. That was a bit of about Bitcoin. So changes in stock market share prices over a few years, mix of months, are usually very small. Meaning, for you to have like a 10% increment or change in a stock price, it will take so many years. That is unlike now cryptocurrencies. This means that the potential for large profits or losses is much lower if you trade in cryptocurrencies, not only Bitcoin. So if you look at this image, I think we sort of summarize what normally happens in the stock market. These also including the Kenyan stock market, even the South African stock market, all these stock markets. So Apple shares, I think most of us, we have an Apple phone or iPhone. Their market cap, or the company value is about $1.4 billion. That is their value. Telsa is Telsa is one of the companies that actually I think got a very big increment, about 125 this year. That is in increment in price. The Dow Jones and the SP, that is now similar to the NS, the what we have in Nairobi. They actually closed low in terms of the volumes that were reported. But that is what we see from the top. And now, if you look at now what really goes on inside, what makes these prices go up and down, we're looking at the global pandemic. We are looking at the US China, and then when China talks about US or US talks about China, we've had issues with the Huawei phones. We've had issues with the Alibaba. Even some people being in the US being told not to invest into Chinese-based stocks because of this Cold War. Of course, political division, the recent elections, of course, also the social unrest, protests, and everything that affects how companies and also profitability comes about. The other big thing, as you can see, is the US debt is now above 26 trillion. That is what the US government has borrowed. The Fed again has injected like 3 trillion into the financial markets. So it's like you're inflating a ball or something. People talk about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin being a bubble, but everything is has those things that makes it look like a bubble. And then you can see the US and unemployment rate is above 20,000. Same dynamics applies to Kenya. You've seen people being being told to work maybe half day. Others are being retrenched because there is no business. People are most companies are struggling, and in the end, that will affect the full company's performance. I think I was seeing recently. There was, I think, there's a news feed I follow that about 18 companies in the current stock exchange here in Nairobi, the NSE, they have given profit warnings, meaning they are going to report losses or less profits than the other years. That's about 18 companies, and that's why today I think I thought it would be good to compare now. Do you want to invest in stocks, or do you want to invest in cryptocurrency, something that is ongoing? Now, let's look at all this now into perspective. Let's compare all these. Just zoom it in. I think that is the maximum. So this particular, what you are seeing there, compares, in summary, all the monies in the world, the stock market, the physical money, that is gold, also the US dollars in circulation, to Apple stocks, to Amazon, and then now to Bitcoin. At the moment, Bitcoin has a market cap of about 600 and I think it's over there, $615 billion. That is what the market cap is. It has actually gone slightly higher than Amazon and also I think Apple, if I'm not wrong. That is the market cap. If you compare that, that's about 600 billion to the stock exchange. That's about $66.8 trillion. So it's a very small. It's a small pebble compared to what the stock market is controlling, and that is why the potential for it to grow is huge, and that's where the gains now come in not only Bitcoin but also some other cryptocurrencies. So this actually gives you the best return if you now want to look at the potential gains, because for you to make like returns in the stock market, as you can see, which is already 66.8 trillion, you need to like move again to what, another 83 trillion, which is like now the global money supply, which is another huge movement. But for Bitcoin to move from 615 billion to, let's say, 10 trillion is much more probable than stock markets moving from 68 to 83. So that's why for us we focus more on education and understanding. And now, if you look at this, the most amazing things about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is that although it has managed to reach a market cap of over 1 trillion, that is now Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies. I think it broke like a value of 1 trillion. So it is still an early stage. And by that, what does it mean? You can see, okay, let me just try and admit some few people, and then we continue. I hope you are following. I hope I'm not moving fast. You realize that only 0.4% of the world inhabitants, that is the world people who live in this earth, use Bitcoin, 0.4%. So looking at that diagram, you see the risk is small compared to the upward gain that is in green. So you can do like 10 to 100 times of your whatever investment if you put in like a little amount. But just know, be prepared also for some dips here and there, which is not really, as I said, it can be controlled if you understand the whole concept. That's why Lawrence and myself, we're here to educate you and also try and show you that there's a very huge potential in this particular ecosystem. In summary, let me just highlight the key differences between Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and the stock investing or trading. So on the left, you'll see stock market. So it is very slow in that you only trade from, I think, 9 a.m. in the morning to 5. When you place an order, you have to place an order through another third party. But in cryptocurrency, it's you to do your own trading. You remember we said not your coins, not your not your private keys, not your coins. That is why you're able to trade for yourself. But it will demand for you to get some bit of understanding. Just a minute. It will demand for you to do a bit of understanding, take time to understand, because the potential for gains are quite big. Again, I said it's about time bound. Stock market, it is timed. You cannot trade every single day. When the US is trading, the Asian market is asleep. But for cryptocurrencies, it is basically 24/7. The other thing about stock market, it is subject to a localized challenge because you need to like go through the regulations of CMA, like the central bank. You have to go through the communication authority, depending on which kind of asset you are trying to do. So all that, of course, it's not bad, it's good. But in terms of an investor, you want something that gives you a high return. At least that's for me. Compared to the cryptocurrency market, it is almost 10 times faster in that when you buy a cryptocurrency, when you buy a token, you get it almost immediately. You don't have to wait for somebody to clear before you like go and get, I don't know, a physical certificate to show that you own shares. No. Everything is is digital. That's why it is the most, like it is growing at a very fast pace. The other thing is that it operates 24/7. There is no time that the market closes since when Bitcoin started. That was in 2009. The market has always been operating. And then the key thing that also that gives you a very big comfort is that it is worldwide. Through open blockchain, anybody can access this particular market. You don't have to be in a particular area. All you need to have is internet connection, and you are good to trade and also involve in the market. We are going to be having classes with Decrypt just to show you how that operates in the coming months and also weeks. In summary, in terms of gains, let's now compare all these. I think we've added gold there, because gold is another asset class that people like trading with. So on the left side, let me just, I think there's somebody, just mute everyone again. Just mute everyone again. Okay, yeah, so this particular like diagram just shows you a comparison from the start of 2020. So let's say if you had some money at the start of 2020 and you invested into stocks, into gold, and into Bitcoin, what would be your return at the moment, or rather within the, like, after 8 months? Now, as of now, which is like now 12 months and beyond, stocks have only like what, risen by 3%. That is stocks, that is the stock market. Gold has already risen by 35%. Bitcoin is doing almost double of all of them all. And that is the key reason why when Lawrence was sharing the news about all these companies looking into Bitcoin, is because of these very good gains. But for them, they have a long-term view. That is one key thing. They have a long-term view. So don't forget that. So in closing, Bitcoin is the asset with the best asymmetric return potential. For Bitcoin cryptocurrencies, it's all about timing. So never rush into, don't buy by hype, don't buy by hearsay. Just do a little bit of understanding before you get to understand the whole concept. Don't go all in. Try and basically gain confidence as you go by. And how you gain confidence is by attending such sessions that we have every single day, every weekend, these Bitcoin 101s. And with that also, try and if you have anything you're not sure of, try put it in the chat so that we can at least do a small Q&A to make you understand better. The other thing is that a fall is very possible in the coming weeks because Bitcoin went to a high of about $42,000. That's about 4.5 million in Kenya. Right now, it's about 3.2 million, and you may even see correction up to 11,000 or 20,000. But that shouldn't deter you from getting on board. Have a plan. If you don't have a plan, we can help you get a plan to how to do that. So with Bitcoin and some digital currencies, you'll be able to realize every investor's dream, maximizing the reward while minimizing the risk. That is what maybe I beg to end there. And also remember to always do your research, and you must make your own research, and also as you make the right decision. So I think with that will end my session. Let me see if there's any questions on the chat. Let me just stop the share. So just try and shoot any question that you have, or maybe what you want us to cover next weekend in our normal Bitcoin 101, because it's our joy, it's our passion to keep sharing with you, keep educating us, so we don't lose your hard-earned money, because there are very many scams out there, that's for sure. We cannot lie about it, but what will set you apart is what information are you what are you learning every day, because you have to keep learning. So in the chats, let me see if there's anybody who wants to clarify anything. This will be available on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube, the recording. If you want to like have a look at it later, it's available. So you can always check on our Telegram channel, and maybe Lawrence can share the Telegram channel so that I think if anyone wants to join, we usually share everyday updates on the markets there, and also how to get involved. Any new upcoming seminars and trainings, we always share there. So I think with that, I'll beg to end there. Let me see if there's a chat. So I think that we are on time. I think it's 11 or 2. I think that's the time we had. So let me pass the rights back to Lawrence. If there's anything that maybe I forgotten, you can fill us in. Then as I wish you good day. So, okay, Raham Mawazo says, in future sessions, it'd be great to cover trusted exchanges that can be used even in Kenya and support different. Okay. Thank you so much, Ra. I think we'll take note of that, and we'll try and do a review of like exchanges in Kenya, even how to do it, because that is what is key. If you have Kenya shillings, how do you buy Bitcoin? And if you have Bitcoin, how do you liquidate? Because I think actually we did it in one of our early sessions. We decrypt, but because if you requested, you can do a small clip on that. So with that, I think let me make Lawrence the host as I say thank you, and have a blessed weekend ahead. Thank you.
So thanks, Luis, for a very comprehensive sharing. I hope all of you have gotten value with what we've shared today. Like I say, do your own research before you invest in cryptocurrency. Don't fear, go for the right information. And I don't think I have anything more to add. We have several sessions coming again. So all I'll do is to wish all of you a great week, a great weekend, a blessed weekend, and a great week ahead. Let's see you all again in Bitcoin 101 next week on Saturday. In case you have any questions or any clarification you want, always drop us a chat or even a call. We'll be there to just help you walk through the crypto space with confidence. So God bless you all. I do appreciate you taking your time to come and learn with us. Have a great week.